Okay, so now let's talk about the youngest daughter. There are different ways in which the youngest daughter gets parentified as well. Okay, so there's two ways. You can either be the youngest child overall, or you can be the youngest daughter. Those are two distinct things. And dependent again on the parents and their resources and the level of support that they give, parentification happens in different ways. If you're the youngest, you either can be, and depending on the difference between ages, you either grow up as an only child if you're super young, or you grow up where the focus is on you in a more glamorized way. You're seen, people dote on you, but you're not seen for who you are. So you still fit into a box of like, you're not fully seen as yourself. And then what also can happen is if none of the other children are responsible, you take on the role for parentification, the caretaker role where you're taking care of everyone. That kind of forces you to become something that you probably didn't want to be. And that doesn't give you the space to exist as yourself. You exist in this role. But that's the case for any child that is parentified. You fill a role of being a provider and a caretaker from a very early age. That pushes you into high functioning survival mode, and that carries you throughout your whole entire life. So you live a life through a lens of survival, and you build a life that hinges on you constantly having to survive. That happens to anyone, or that can happen, I should say, to anyone that is parentified. Now let's get into the only children. The only children are the only people for their parents to rely on, if that is the case. If your parents don't have friends, if your parents don't have any type of community, if all they do is work and come home, they're going to start to dump their problems on you from an early age. And you go inward because you have to take care of yourself because there's no one else around. So you are very hyper independent. You know how to play well by yourself. And this is where personality comes in. Because if you are a high achiever regardless, you're going to go that route of high functioning survival mode. If you're an inquisitive kid, you're going to go that route of trying to figure out why and all that stuff. But if you're not, if you're like whimsy and like you like to lay back and have fun and go play, then parentification kind of shakes out a little bit different. It's not sustained and entrenched as much. It can still happen though. A lot of people also asked if you were a twin or a triplet, how does that work? I don't know per se, because the people who were twins in my study didn't quite explain or share their experiences from that lens. And there's also another dynamic where you're the oldest on one side of your family and the youngest on another, that kind of thing. That also plays a role in how parentification shakes out for the child.